Stream, gotta do some work. I think I'll be happy if, in the next 30 minutes if I can get this stuff, bottom area, semi-complete. I got a lot of it kind of mapped out, but now I'm just going to plot out simple colors at first, and I'm not going to go too heavy. I'm going to go really light, feather touch, and not really define things. It's going to be kind of like as if I'm looking at a blurry photo, like I'm purposely squinting my eyes and the photo is really blurry and I can't really see much of anything. And that's what I'm trying to do at first. I make it seem like it's just a blur photo, like you're at an eye exam. You're getting an eye exam and they say, which is better, this one or this? This or this? Like, oh, none of these are better. These are awful. I can't see a thing. And I'm like, sorry, sir. We have to start at we have to start at the worst before we can find your exact prescription, sir. And then all of it's blurry and you have a prescription that doesn't work and your optometrist. I'm an optometrist, not a pessimist. Your optometrist is fired. No, I'm just going to make it really, really easy and really light, blurry, and not really define anything at this point. Like I'm trying to give a glimpse. And I don't want to put too much on the surface of the paper at this point, but I will apply more as time goes on. I'm going to do this for approximately 30 minutes, and then I'm going to take a break, a brief little break, and then I got to go do some work that is a little bit more intensive and requires a little bit more of my focus. So I'm not going to really, a little bit more of my focus. That's all it is, really. Just kind of layer the stuff, add a little bit of this here and there. Little hints of color that might go to the drawing or not. That might layer up later on. Just adding a little bit of here and there. And I'm using one color. I'm using kind of like low, not really adding variety to my drawing at the moment. I don't want to add variety at the moment. I am going to do that as time goes on. I will move into being a little bit more critical of my details, but I'm just going to with it at this point in the drawing. I spent the most time on this because it required me to be more precise. I couldn't make crisp lines, but area I can be more gestural, more figurative, and get away with a little bit more than working on this area. Oh no, I'm making mistakes. No! Mistakes are great. It's okay, we all make mistakes. I'm not super detailed. If you haven't already gathered that by now, I'm not trying to be detailed at all, obviously. I'm just trying to add local color to the drawing and make it go a little bit quicker. And this whole area is going to be dealt with in, not soon, but I'd say if I'll get to it. It's going to happen. I'm not going to really dive too much into the details. As a matter of fact, the looser I am at this point, the better. This is where you can, part of the drawing where you can kind of like scribble, you know? And you can make it seem like to the viewer like, oh, you don't know what you're doing. You're just scribbling, you know, these scribbles, they build up. I'm adding here, a foundation of scribbles here, sir. And these scribbles will not look like scribbles later on. And isn't that what all drawing is, really? A bunch of scribbles that have been organized in a certain way, in a clever way that looks like something. That's all I'm doing, is I'm just being very clever with my scribbles. So I'm just scribbling. That's all I'm gonna do. Let me scribble, dude. Leave me to my scribbling. Lay off me, will ya? Okay, I'm gonna lay off. Thanks. But just adding local color. And what local color means is, thank you, man. Connect the scribble. The words start to lose. Yeah. That's what happens when you say the word over and over. But yeah, really, that's what all it is. It's a bunch of scribbling. Scribble. Just being very loose at the moment. And I think what I'm going to do is underneath this small area, it's kind of bluish. I'm thinking I'm going to be a little bit more adventurous today on this one. And a little bit of blue happening here. So I'm going to add a little bit of blue. What I have is a little pad of paper that I kind of test my color on. And I'm just going to add a little bit of blue in this area that's actually, it's blue with like a gray. I'm just going to add a little bit of blue and gray here. I'm going to do the same thing underneath here. It's a matter of get my gray out as soon as I could find it. I think this is the gray I used. I'll use a gray that might not be the gray that I used earlier. And if it's not, oops. I think this is the gray I used. My whole like pastel palette box is just a mess. I admire those artists that have like when they put on like colored pencils, they put their colored pencils literally back in the same spot that they had them at, and in the spot they have a designated blue, a designated green spot, a gray spot, you know. And I just I start out like that, and then eventually it just kind of it just stops. It does not continue. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Why can't you be like other artists, bro? Why can't you be like other artists doing cool stuff? Why can't you be part of the cool crowd? And then I cry myself asleep at night. That's how I do it. Why can't you be like Jazza? Or Proko? Is it Proko something? Proko. I'm actually Proko's brother, Broko. I'm the broke version of Proko. All right, so I don't know if that was the right gray. I think the other gray I had was here. Maybe it was. I don't know. Well, I'm losing sight of where I'm at. So let's go ahead and let's just add blues here. Even though there's probably not any blues in there, we're just going to add blues in this area. Just being very light with it. Kind of scumbling over areas. And then we'll add, I don't know if this is the right color, but it's going to be the right color for today. For now, we're just going to add some of this color here. I don't think that's the right color. No. I think we might go back to the gray. Go back to that gray color and just kind of, for now, maybe even add a little bit of the gray here. Again, doesn't have to be perfect at the moment. We'll just refine it later on. I just want to get something there, something that kind of just shows that I'm at least attempting to add the color that is similar to that area. This isn't like Photoshop. You can't just, use an eyedrop tool. Or yeah, it's not. You can't just use an eyedrop tool. I guess if I was more high tech with my work, Like, there's those artists that use, like, they have a high def television screen, high def TV screen, and they're using that to zoom in on a photo so they can do like hyper realism. Like, I'm thinking to myself, I can't afford that. I'm broko, man. Who do you think I am? Anyways, we're just gonna fill out this area. Maybe even make this like a blue. This will all the stuff's gonna mix together a little bit more as time goes on. But I'm just kind of scumbling the colors on top of each other. And so that's what I'm doing, just scumbling the colors on top of each other. And I'll blend them together a little bit more as time goes on. But right now, we just want to have we just want to have something here as like a placeholder. And that's really what I'm doing, just adding a little bit of a placeholder. And using, yeah, a little bit of a placeholder. What else is here? What's this? Would this work as something? Like, I feel like there's like grays and like grayish blues happening here. Not really accounting for it. I lost my, oh, there's my pastel color I was using. My green. Now we're just stumble this area for another 18 minutes or so. And I think I might be not done with this area. Well, I'm just going to keep moving. Let's keep moving the drawing forward. See where it takes me. I need to find a different green. But I don't know whether I want to mix a green with purple or something. I might have to find, I think I have a different green somewhere. I would like to have a darker green than the green that I have right now. So changing the green in this area to a different, like, it's not, a little bit more intense. Just kind of add a little bit of pigments of color here and there. And I need to think about like how I want to pursue the area. Do I want it dark? Do I want to mix it with like a different color? I got to think about like, what can I use to make this area feel like a darker green, but not be a literal green? What color can I use as a substitute for a dark green? And that's what I am questioning. What can I use to make this area a dark green? And I don't know. So I will have to like experiment with that until I get a color that I feel works. It takes time, some trial and error, and a little bit of like being adventurous to some degree. Sometimes you're a little bit scared. You're like, oh no, I'm scared. I don't want to make a mistake. My drawing's perfect. I don't want to make any mistakes. I'm going to make a mistake, then I'm a failure. No one's going to like me. I won't be able to go to my mom's house anymore. She'll kick me out. She'll laugh at me. You're a failure. You can't color trees. You're a terrible tree. I'm like, I know, Mom. I'm trying to be like you, Mom. The best tree colorist in the lower western hemisphere of. Oh no. But man. Anyways, I think let's go right here. Let's tackle this with a gray, just like a bluish gray right here. And then let's take, what kind of green do I have? Do I have any green? Well, I guess I'll use this green. Oh no, it's falling apart. Don't fall apart on me, green. Oh, dude, it broke in half. It broke. All right, we'll do what we have to do. Let's kind of do a little bit of this. Just to kind of put something in here. I imagine I'll probably use a variety of colors like purples and blacks and blues. I'm not quite sure how I want to pursue it, but I know I don't want it the surface of the paper. I want it to be black, to have some tone to it, but not be straight the surface of the paper. So I have to kind of be aware of that. And what's this look like? That's too light. Let's go ahead and, do I have any dark blue? I don't have colors that I want, but I don't want to open up my brand new box of pastels, because I've been drawing using a box of pastels, and I don't want to open up a new box of pastels and kind of change the approach that I had that I've been working on. So I'm just gonna use what I got and see where it takes me. I'll just kind of see where it takes me. Oh man, I totally forgot. I forgot this area. This is supposed to be yellow. Yeah, that's supposed to be like a yellowish. And then over here it's like a green. Let's add a little bit of green. All right, so I think I'm ready to kind of work up here again. Let's kind of make my blues kind of in the same spot. Get my blues kind of in the same spot. Let's see, here's a light blue. I'm kind of mixing around I'm organizing my palette. You can't tell because the palette is kind of just off to the side here. It's very messy, and all the colors are kind of mixed, so I'm trying to kind of at least reorganize them so that I have my colors in the same spot. So we got some blues, maybe make them move into some greens, some sort of like tealish green or something. There we go. I think that helped a little bit, but I still got like a bunch of random stuff. Anyways, let's go ahead and work on the blue area here. And let's go ahead and start out with this blue. We're just gonna kind of slowly swirl it together. I'm still going to keep the tooth of the paper here, but I'm going to slowly swirl it together and just kind of blend it at this point, and then see where it takes me. There's blue that I used below here. It's like a darker blue. I'm going to try to get that kind of blended in a little bit more so it's lighter. I am not pressing real hard. I don't want to press too hard still, because some of the paper is still, the tooth of the paper to still kind of show through at this point. Maybe later on I will it will get darker, or I'll be applying more and more pigment. But at this point in my drawing, I still want to kind of show some of that that blue there. And this, I'm going to blend these colors again, and by just kind of like just slowly circling, making circular motions like this. And that helps to kind of blend the two colors together. This kind of makes us like a little bit of a blending action, I guess. All right. Just slowly adding color here. And I really like the white. What I might need to do is I might need to find my white pastel. I think this is all of my white that I have left. I might have a white stick over here. Maybe. I don't think so. I think this is it. This might be my only white I have left. I'm gonna have to keep that spare. I'm gonna put that to the side there. You know? Add in purples to the sky, because I see a subtle hints of purple in there. Just want to kind of add these, exaggerate them a little bit. And still just kind of add a little, just like playing around, having fun with it. Just slowly adding more and more color, making the surface of the paper more opaque and taking away less of that, taking away that surface quality, taking away from it, and just making it more and more opaque as time goes on. All right, got 5 more minutes and I gotta end it for the day. But I think I'm making some good progress. Finally feel like things are moving. The slow part was definitely that the bridge was definitely slowing it down quite a bit. So, oh no. Anyways, the bridge was slowing it down quite a bit. but it just takes time. Four more minutes. I don't know if I'm a fan of this, the tooth on the paper. I think it's a little too toothy for my liking. One more minute, and then I gotta go, everyone. I think next time I work on this, I'm gonna spend more time in the clouds. Maybe dial in some of the information here. Hopefully I won't run out of white, which I probably will. And I'll have to use this blue cloud and maybe, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But it's okay. We'll figure it out. As I usually do. I wonder if this is like a, I wonder if I can use a little bit of like a gray in here. I wonder what that would look like. I kind of like the gray. Kind of like neutralizes some of the hype, some of the color. Kind of like it softens some of those colors a little bit. Anyways, I got that's it for the day. I got to do some more work. Thank you so much for watching. You all rock.